The city had no name anymore, only coordinates on a satellite map. 32 degrees north, 44 degrees east. Once full of laughter, light, and life, now it was just a wound carved into the earth. When the evacuation orders came, Captain Mira Dalton didn't leave. She volunteered to stay behind for a final recon sweep. It was supposed to be simple: scan, log, extract. But nothing in the ruins was ever simple. As the dust storms crawled across the horizon, she moved through streets that looked like skeletons. Towers bent in half, cars fused with the pavement, playgrounds filled with silence. She'd seen war before, but this felt like the world itself had stopped breathing. Then, a sound. A faint, broken pattern on her headset. 2 clicks. Pause. 2 clicks. Old NATO distress code. Her breath hitched. "Command, this is Dalton. I'm picking up a signal. Possible survivor." Her radio hissed, static crackling. "Negative, Dalton. No one's left alive out there. Abort the sweep." She hesitated. "Sir, that's a verified distress pattern." Silence. Then, "Captain, you go dark past grid 7. We can't pull you out." "Understood." Mira looked at the burned skyline, then at the faint blip on her visor. "Understood," she said. Then she turned off the radio. The descent. She followed the signal through narrow alleys and flooded basements, her boots sinking into ash and water. Every step echoed, not just sound, but memory. Someone had fought here, someone had died here, and someone, impossibly, was calling for help. Her flashlight flickered across walls scarred with bullet holes, graffiti messages half erased by time. "We tried. Run!" Still here. Hours passed, the signal pulsed stronger. It led her to a collapsed field hospital. The roof was gone, sky bleeding through. Medical stretchers, empty IV bags, and the smell of dust and something older. She stepped carefully over shattered glass, her rifle raised. The signal clicked again. 2. Pause. 2. Close now. Behind a fallen wall, she heard a faint tapping. Her heart tightened. She dropped her pack, planted a small charge, and blew the wall apart. The dust settled. A man lay trapped under a collapsed beam. Emaciated, filthy, alive. "You're real?" he whispered. She nodded. "Captain Mira Dalton, Coalition Forces. You sent the signal?" "I thought no one would come." She smiled faintly. "You were wrong." For hours she worked in silence. Piece by piece, she moved the debris, her gloves torn, fingers raw. When the beam finally came loose, he gasped in relief. She gave him water, then turned toward the exit. That's when she heard it. Engines. Low, guttural, multiple. She peeked through a gap in the wall. Trucks, mercenaries, scavengers, not rescuers. "Stay low," she whispered. The man's breathing quickened. "Who are they?" "The kind that kill anything that moves." The chase. They slipped into the hospital's basement as gunfire cracked above. Voices shouted in a language she didn't recognize. She could feel the vibrations through the floor, heavy boots closing in. They moved through flooded tunnels lit only by the flicker of her flashlight. At every intersection she paused, listening. Every sound mattered here. A wrong turn meant death. The man stumbled behind her. Why didn't you leave?" he panted. "I don't leave people behind," she said simply. "You don't even know me." She didn't look back. "Doesn't matter." The tunnel led them to a collapsed subway entrance. She checked her GPS. Dead. Compass. Flickering. Battery. Critical. When she reached the surface again, dawn had begun to stain the sky orange. They were surrounded by ruins that stretched for miles. Then, voices. Too close. She turned to the man. "Do you know another way out?" He nodded weakly. "North. There's a drainage canal that runs to the river. Go. When you see open sky, trigger this." She handed him her emergency beacon. He stared at it, shaking. "What about you?" Her gaze hardened. "Someone has to make sure they don't follow." "No. You can't." "Move," she said. Her tone left no room for argument. He ran, and she disappeared into the shadows. The stand. The scavengers fanned out through the ruins, guns sweeping. They found her tracks within minutes. They followed them right into the open courtyard. Mira was waiting. The first man went down without even realizing she was there, then the second. By the time they understood they were being hunted, it was already too late. She fought like smoke, always moving, always one step ahead, a single operator against an entire pack. When they finally overwhelmed her, she had no bullets left. She made her last stand behind a fallen statue, blood soaking through her sleeve, eyes fixed on the horizon. Her final transmission went out moments later. 2 clicks, pause, 2 clicks, then silence. 48 hours later. The extraction team found the man alive, dehydrated, trembling. He clutched the beacon like a child holding a lifeline. "She stayed," he kept repeating. "She stayed behind for me." They searched the ruins for 3 days. They found shell casings, tracks, blood, but no body. Just her flashlight, still faintly glowing under the rubble. Tape was wrapped around the handle, 4 words written in faded ink. 2 clicks, pause, 2 clicks. The message spread through every outpost. Some said the light still flickered at night. Some claimed to hear her signal over the comms, faint, rhythmic, unwavering. The soldiers called it the ghost signal. And whenever a team went dark in hostile zones, they would sometimes hear it again. 2 clicks. Pause. 2 clicks. No one knows if it's interference or something else. But those who've heard it never turn their radios off. Because somewhere out there, Captain Mira Dalton still holds the line. A shadow in the ruins. A light that refuses to die.